Welcome to Africa Insight. In this week's video, I am joined by my colleague, Franken, who's the economist for Malawi. So Chris has been busy with something very interesting, and it's in a country that we don't often talk about, obviously Malawi. So he's busy with his country economic forecast report. So Chris, can you tell us about what you've been researching in this report about Malawi?
Yes, well, thank you for having me. So it's essentially a forecast for Malawi's economy, and Malawi's in a tough spot, I think.
Yep.
Series of a lot of external and domestic shocks have been putting a lot of pressure on the economy, and I think a big particular problem is the massive shortage of foreign exchange reserves, foreign currency, which is making it difficult for the country to import fuel, fertilizer, and generally to keep its economy running.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Chris, you talked about the currencies. Maybe you could expand for our viewers, because obviously Malawi is not always covered amongst the bigger economies on the continent, or doesn't get enough media attraction. Could you maybe just explain why there's a currency shortage and why this matters particularly for fuel and fertilizer?
So yes, the currency shortage, I think, largely stems from the fact that Malawi has what one would call like a pegged exchange rate, or a managed floating exchange rate, where the exchange rate is set at a certain dollar value. And to maintain this rate, or to defend it, you have to use your foreign exchange reserves. Now you get these reserves from exports and imports. The problem is that Malawi has a very undiversified economy, largely centered around agriculture, with tobacco exports being its main export and a big driver of its economy, and also its largest source of foreign currency. And in the past few years, tobacco exports have not been doing that well.
Yep.
So there is a shortage of foreign currency to defend that currency, basically the peg.
Yeah.
And then this is a particular vulnerability because Malawi really depends on imported machines and fuel and fertilizer to keep its main sector running, which is agriculture.
Yeah.
So already you have a difficult situation, but then this year with the war in the Middle East, that's basically compounding this difficulty. Because now not only do you have a shortage of foreign currency, but the things you want to import, the fertilizer, the fuel, is now even more expensive.
Yeah.
So this is a big problem, and actually the government has been trying its best to communicate that the country has not run out of fuel, but plenty of petrol stations and diesel stations are empty, long queues, and it seems like the country is really, really struggling. There is a massive shortage of both currency and fuel.
All right, no, thanks, Chris. I think that maybe sort of expands on, we've been chatting about the impact of the war on Africa, and Malawi is probably the case where it's the most impactful. Chris, thanks for joining us. I think that's it. Thank you for joining Africa Insight this week. If you'd like more information on our products or services, please visit our website or socials.